welcome. My name is Daniel Ong, and we have a very honorable guest from Vietnam, all the way from Vietnam. Her name is Minh Anh. Do I pronounce your name correctly? Minh Anh?
Yes, yes. My
Okay,
name
good,
is
good, good.
Minh Anh. My last name is Luong, and the middle name is
Yeah.
Minh. And we don't say last name in Vietnam. We just say the middle name first, and then the first name. So it's weird.
Oh, so it's the structure will be like An Min Luang, is it something like that? If it's followed of
Our
correct.
official paperwork will be
Yeah.
Luong Minh Anh. Last name first, middle name, and then first name.
Oh, then the surname,
Last name,
which is
last
the
name is the surname, right?
oh, last name is surname, which is
Yeah.
the Luang is your surname.
Yes.
Oh, I see, I see. Okay, okay. So maybe
Yeah.
you can tell us more about yourself, and then your YouTube channel. What is it about?
I just love to jump right in to talk about the YouTube channel because I've been thinking about this and had been living in this for as long as I can remember. Because my YouTube channel is about family business, emotional side, which is really a lot of drama. And because I was born into a family business and was raised through like a lot of difficult times that we had alongside with all the financial crisis and all that. So I've seen all the aspects of family business firsthand. A lot of the problem that I had when in my youth is the feeling of having like the blessing of some people said that I just win the sperm game, born into a family like with a lot of privilege, more than other people, uh, at least in my town, then I have all this fortune, and it's the burden to think of how I can, live up to the expectation. But then whenever try my, I try to do something by myself to be successful. That is just reduced to, I have everything, so I supposed to do that. I supposed to be successful. If I fail, then that will be really good story to tell to gossip about. So that was like it was a really hard place for me, at least during my youth. And I saw that in a lot of people when they struggle to go into the family business, and then they don't know why they feel miserable because it's so hard to work in family and talk to family all the time, day in, day out. Even at dinner time, all they talk about is business and arguing. Yeah, yeah. So that was where I started to do a lot more digging into like what is the problem with family business and why is this generational crack is so deep and it's really hard to bridge. At one time, I that was at the start of the pandemic. I wanted to do a PhD about this. I want to dig deep and have like some evidence based method of how to solve this problem. But from all the research that I've read, it's a very wicked problem because all the research will be they do research on the family business with a moderate or to quite good sample size of about a few thousand, and then what they deduce to is everything has to start from the leader.
Sample size as in the workers, the
No,
employees,
sample
you mean?
size as in the business.
Okay.
Yeah, so the business, the households is the business. And the
Mm-hmm.
business, family business is very broad because you can have some very small size in terms of employees, but they have very big networks, like jewelry dealers. They have a lot of money, but not a big organization. Versus some family business maybe they, for example, they can be a fabric manufacturing. So they have a lot of employees, but like not high value
You
products.
mean the turnover?
Yeah. So it's a wide range, and family business are everywhere in any economy. Family business at least kind of like 50% of the economy, but because they are small, so that is why it's really undeserved, unserved community where there are not much talk about how they can build a good system or how they can solve their internal problem. And the wicked problem is that everything comes down to the decision maker who is the head of the household and the head of the business. But it's really hard for them to release their power. So they are in charge, and to for them to talk about like how to prepare to give up everything for their next generation, they wanted to, but they will not act on it because it's really hard to let go. It's really hard for anybody to let go, especially
Yeah.
when you work so hard on something and you come to a place where it's really successful and it's mean everything to your life, and then it is, you just can't let go, right? So
Yeah,
it's
because like
called,
if you
yeah,
let go, you have basically like nothing to do. Like
right.
what are you gonna
and
do? Like yeah.
and the problem is nobody talks about what's next, how to pave the path for the next chapter of their life that they can find fulfillment. It should be that question was, how do you move on to the next chapter of your life with fulfillment? It still can be done. It's just nobody talk about it, and nobody, give some thoughts about how to help these people to go through that place. Because,
Yeah, so
you know,
they like continue working and working and working lah.
they work and they wait until too late to think about what's next and what's good for their business. And then at that
Yeah.
point, they have usually been disconnected with their children for so long. It's really hard to form a functional and effective relationship and communication channel that can work for both of them. So that's the problem of having this wonderful generation giving so much for the community, for the society, and it's having this younger generation with so much good intention, so much potential and good hearts because they love their family. But it's really hard for them because they will not be the one who can have a say for so long. It's really demolishing them with motivation.
Yeah, sometimes the creativity will be limited. They wanted to do something, but the older generation, like maybe the thinking is quite old-fashioned way, like they want in their own way. And sometimes it's
Yeah,
like, how come you're doing that way? Let me do it. Let me do it. Like
yeah,
yeah. Okay,
exactly.
okay, okay. You can have everything. Like
Yeah. Yeah, they always come to a fight and then they say, how come I raise you and I give you so much and then you give me this? They're so ungrateful. And then the child will be like, I tried to help you. And it's like all of this is so hurtful. It's really heart wrenching to see. And all of it is not because they don't have good mechanism or they don't know how to do things. They can do good things. They can build a business that sustain for so long. But the thing is with family is it's so close to home that it's really hard to see objectively what needs to be done. And that's boiled down to emotional side, not the business side, the emotional that build up for decades. And it leads to a they don't know how to communicate effectively with family, and b they don't know how to resolve difficult conversation, conflict. They cannot get past the emotional damage that they've done to each other, even though they love each other. Yeah, so my channel is about that. I talk about, like, I view different series. Usually that would be the father, some mother that is the star of the show, the business woman, but usually that will be the father, and then the son. So for the father, there'll be two things. How do you plan the succession process without planning? Because I feel like planning a succession plan, like a in business world, is very detailed. It's very cumbersome. It takes a lot of time, takes a lot of resources. But with a family business, the founder and the leader, it is really hard for them to bring their own, you know, to overcome their own feelings to do all of that. So it has to be very simple, very natural, and relaxing for them to naturally go into this and find it reassuring. And then the next thing is to talk about how they find fulfillment after they've let go and give their children the opportunity to grow into the leaders that they can be. And then that means that they have to look into themselves because they've been doing business for so long. They are the people of action. They are not, they're not very much of a thinker or a philosopher. They are people of action. That's why they can get things done. Then this is the opportunity for them to require some looking in and self-awareness, find their own values, because values changed over time. And at the point that they can start thinking about that, they can start thinking about what the value they want in their whole life, especially the 2 or 3 decades at the end of their lifespan, what their life should be like, what they want, and what they value the most. And then they can start building steps to build that perfect life that they want. Don't feel the dread of letting go of their most prized thing anymore, because there's so much to look for. They are wonderful people, and they can do great things after that. It's just that they have to think about what they want to do next and have the opportunity to let themselves immerse in that. And then the third thing is the children, because Simon Sinek was the one who talked about millennial question,
The
talking about like
why, the why.
the
Simon
millennial
Sinek is on the why.
questions. Why this generation of
Yeah.
people born 84 and after that, they are this generation of like having so much and growing up with internet, so they don't have patience. They just want everything to be instantly, and they want to have an impact. They want to build a mountain, but they don't know how to climb a mountain. That's essentially what they said. And there is some truth to that. The most lacking in our society, even for the generation before that, is the skill set to to deal with our own emotions. Our emotions dictate our actions, and we don't know how to deal with our emotions. We dismiss all the bad emotions. So there's a unhealthy obsession of society as a whole about happiness and fulfillment and success, and you're supposed to get everything before you are 30, and then they tell you like um, they come up with 30 under 30 lists and tell you that if you are not a millionaire before 30, you're failures. Yeah, so this the whole society um, just giving so much signals to this generation that they have to get it all. But the thing is, the actions they need to take to get it all dictates by emotions, and they don't have the skill set to deal with their own emotions, especially the negative emotions. that lead to a lot of depression. That's why there's so much depression around. And that is what I also want to talk about, but not in the generic term, because I feel like it's too saturated with all the content about like emotional side of things. But for specifically for the children of family business that want to work in their family business and want to contribute, to be able to do that, they have to be able to resolve their emotional conflict with their family first. And that emotional side needs A, self-awareness, B, the ability to understand that negative emotions are not bad. Negative emotions are just emotions. It's part of our human conditions. And you have to know how to, well, to be able to, it's a skill. You have to gain that skill to sit with your own negative emotions and be okay with that. Only then you can find like, contentment, or, have the pathway for meaningful action to take place despite of all the negative emotions. So that's how you solve the problem.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a very long
Very
introduction.
detailed on the emotion side
Yeah,
of the family business. So
yeah.
for your side, what sort of family business that you're involving in?
We call ourselves early childhood educators. So I have a school, Montessori School, and also my family is also in education for a long time.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, it's 40 years and plus. So we are educators.
So
Yeah,
like what sort of is like something like an academy, like a institution?
the school that I run now is not run, but I own the Montessori School, which is a kindergarten school that uh, fully adopt the Montessori method,
Mhm.
and I learned a lot from that because the philosophy is just phenomenal. I have three children, and when I have my own children, I know how difficult raising a child is. Do you have children?
Yes, yes, I have a daughter, 12 years old.
Oh,
Yeah.
so nice. 12 years old is the best
how,
time.
how old are your kids?
They're very young. They're 1.5, 3.5, and 5.5.
Oh.
So they're little minions. Just go around and cause trouble. The school gives me a lot of perspective because we work in the school. It's like, because education is quite different from business. There was a period that I went out and worked for other industry as well. So I worked in hospitality, and there I learned a lot of like very fast pace, because in hospitality the turnaround is one day. So you have everything like in one day. You count all the room night that you sold, how much
Mm.
material that you use, and it's really fast. But in education, it's the one turnaround. Like the shortest turnaround is one semester, that would be 3 months, and then 1 year, one academic year is the roughly the term that you think of a meaningful unit of learning. So it's not really fast changing. And with AI coming into the picture, education is should be the fastest to change, but it's not. So I worry about our children's future.
But for education, like nowadays, the parents, the requirement, they want higher standard for their children. They
Mm,
want compared to the previous time where they had their own education. Like now, I want my child to get the best of what
yes,
they have. Yeah.
exactly. It's very true. I see it, especially the last 5 years. the amount of expectation is just phenomenal. It's just changed so much faster than the last decade. I think it's because of the millennials. They reached the place where they have children. And because they were raised with high expectation, now they have high expectation with their children. And they have less children, I think. That's also another factor.
Yeah.
But that high expectation come as a cost for education because when the voice of the parents become center, sometimes educators give up some of the knowledge and the proven method for teaching. There are a lot of things that a teacher do, but my favorite one is the word encouragement. And what parents think about encouragement is giving praise. Okay, you it's okay. You don't do good today, you can do it tomorrow. Oh, it's good, it's always good, good job. That's encouragement in the eyes of parents. But what they don't know is encouragement is actually instill courage, the courage to fail and to learn from failures. Because we
Mm.
don't learn about our failures. We fear our failures, and that's uh, another way of harboring a lot of negative emotion and don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah,
And
something
teachers,
like perfectionist.
yeah, and move away from failures because they want to be successful, and a success is something that is sold to us by society as like the only option that is good. But if you fail, it doesn't mean that it's not good. The whole experience will teach you a lot, and life is about learning and growing, not about
Yeah.
you climb a mountain and get into the top. Then what next? And encouragement is to to go through that. Parents don't see that, and that is really disheartening for me to see when parents voice, they have a louder voice, and school administration listen to them. It should be more conversations going on between educators and parents because they care about the same thing, their children. But what best for their children should be, the best of both worlds.
They
Yeah,
expect like they paid so much and then yeah, they want back like that much
yeah.
from the teacher.
Failure is
Yeah.
not an option if I pay that much. But you cannot teach, you know, overcoming hardship if you don't allow your children to fail. It has to happen for them to learn.
People
Yeah,
will reject you, there will be failure. It's very emotional, disturbing for the children when they grow
yeah,
up into the real
it
world.
is, and it paints a very unrealistic picture of life in school. Even in school, in like university, what they paint the picture is success, 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 and success. But in life, failure, 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 and success. It doesn't happen that way. It's the child when they grow up and they go into the world, and they are used to being successful in school because that's all the all that schools emphasize on. Then the first time they hit a bump, they feel that they failed their expectations. They don't have any skill set or any ways of dealing with that failures. It will take them years to overcome that emotional turmoil, that self doubt, because they haven't dealt with it. And that is really a bad way to raise our future generation, I think. Do you agree?
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely.
I get it. It's hard for like even for me, my children. It's hard to see them fail, and it's always as a parent, we always have the urge to protect them because the society that we live in today, I feel it's like a a, a fish tank that is so filled of stuff, that is too crowded, and the space and time for them to to have time to work on these skills is not a lot when they go out into the world. So it's actually our job to try to instill in them these kind of skills and capacity so that they can go through life with a better mindset and a better understanding of realistic realistically what success means and what happiness means. Otherwise they will just wander around and just like well into their 20s they will just go around and find meanings of life and just all of that nonsense. Because they don't have the time when they grow up. What the reason I said that 12 years old is really good because 12 years old is the start of another stage. In Montessori, there are three stages. So breaking up to different 6 years at a time. So 12 years old. And then the next stage is 13 to 18. And that is where, like, the first stage is 0 to 6. That's where a child learns to be like themselves, like to grow their own skill and be around the environment around a child. And then the environment around the child is very small, just their class, their school, and their family. And then the next stage, when they hit like from 7 to 12, is they learn the environment around them, like the world around them. They learn the rules around in the world to function in that society. And then the 13 to 18 is where they learn that what what they want to be in that society. So now they want to find their own voice. And if all the periods from 0 to 12 that we don't allow them to have the opportunity to fail or have the time to learn like all the coping mechanism, healthy coping mechanism of emotional turmoils and the negative emotions that they will have, definitely will have. Then when they go out and try to like assert themselves into the world and have all like the like the answer that life spit back to them, they will find it's very very difficult. That's where they find like they try to fit into their peers, and you know find their style and personal style and stuff like that. And then it's really hard for them to deal with all that and the emotional aspects. And and at that time they don't listen to their parents anymore. We're done. We're nothing to
Yeah,
them.
especially when it's like 13 to 18, that stage
Yes,
you
that's
get.
that stage because it's actually developmentally that's how it is. That's how their brain tell them because at that time the hormones is so strong and hormones is designed to find mates. So parents don't have any say.
And they have their own opinions, you know.
Yes, they trying to find their own self, their own opinion, and they find it by learning from their peers and the social media. And it's not a really good place to learn all that,
So that
especially
that
if they don't
stage is
know how to
like very
navigate.
easy to get influenced by
Mm, yeah,
a lot of people,
yeah,
friends. So bad friends, wrong friends, yeah, will lead you
yes,
to.
exactly. And because we don't allow them to make mistakes early on, at this point is the because early on the mistake they make are low stakes because we are there and they listen to us. When they build themselves the bubbles and just only allow their peers or like significant attractive people that they look up to into that sphere, we cannot teach we cannot teach them any lesson anymore, and they cannot teach themselves, and because they don't have the missteps, the failures before them to learn from. Now they make the mistake is more damaging, and it becomes something that they brought with them for their whole life. I wish that's not the case, but it is. Yeah.
So maybe in this industry, maybe you can make some changes, like
Yeah.
what
Well,
yeah what
in
you can
education,
bring.
there are a lot of people that make a lot of good, wonderful work, and it's just that because education is also like YouTube. There's a lot of voices, and parents, because we want to raise our children the way we want, like we are the one in charge. So we don't really understand, or we're not aware of what forces behind us that influence how we parent. So it depends on who get more influence and who have the bigger voice and who have the decision, like who can make the decision that happen to be the driver of education future. And there are a lot of good people that try to make sure that education is serving humanity future, but it's very under budget to do so. Yeah, we're in this business for a long time, and it feels right what we want to do. We're just going to education, and it feels really good because the atmosphere, the feelings of like very connected to the meaning of what we do. But it's not an industry that is high high paying, or if you want to get rich, it's not an industry to get it.
So like
But
how
I
many
think,
siblings you
yeah,
have? Like among you, like how
I
many
have three.
siblings you have?
Oh no,
Oh,
there are three of us. I have one sister and one brother. Do
so
you have?
all of you are in this industry.
Yes.
Oh.
Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I have a brother.
Do you have
He's in
any kind of
Singapore.
like family drama that you feel like whatever I've told you so far somewhat resonates?
Yeah, like I'm a vet, and then I'm working in a company which is also a family kind of business.
Mm.
So like the father has says like sometimes like uh, there's a lot of interruption going on and stuff like that. Yeah, there are some pros and cons, but I think as younger generation, they bring innovation, new ideas, progress. I think the older generation have to open their mind to accept things are changing, and
Mm-hmm.
now even faster and faster.
Yeah.
It's not like because I have some people also saying like, oh, last time I did that, last time I did that. Yeah, yeah, those were last time. Now is
Yeah.
now. Yeah,
Yeah. Exactly. It's really hard because things changing so fast. And
yeah,
what happened now will may not be the case in the next 10 years, not even 20 years. So it's getting harder and harder to predict what future will be.
yeah. So it's not what how many years that you work, like what's your age. I think it's more on the mindset of keep updating yourself the innovative way your
Yes.
ideas comes in. Yeah, because
Yeah,
what
exactly.
works today it will not work like 10 years later. Something will you have to keep on changing. Like 10 years ago, no one knows AI, chat gpt. Now it's like wow, it's like just 2 months ago,
Yes.
and now it's like wow.
Yeah.
And I don't know
Now
what
it's
will
very
happen end of this year. Yeah, things will
yeah.
change, keep on changing. Yeah.
Yes. Is is that mindset that I want to talk about more and more. I hope that there will be more people talking about it. The concept of us being like we live longer now. We can live longer. up until 100 years old.
Yeah.
If we are lucky, we live well into our 90s. And it's not enough to think about like and retirement. That's it. We still have to work. And I
Yeah.
like to think that when we have the option to retire, we will think about working to keep up, to exercise our mind and to enjoy life more. That's why I started the YouTube channel. And I think getting into the habit of creation, like creating a video, that is the act of creation. And getting into the habit of doing that, I can do it well into my 80s.
Yeah.
Whether YouTube is still around or not, it's okay.
And one of the reason that I do YouTube is a legacy that my voice will be heard for years to come, like my grandchildren. Maybe they're like, oh, this grandpa sounds like this last time. Yeah, something like that.
Oh, that's so cute. I love it when people say, the word legacy. It means so much to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big word and it's not thrown around lightly.
Because like for my parents, because my mom and dad is no longer here, so I have like photos of my mom, but I don't have the voice video of my mom. Yeah,
Hmm.
even though I miss her, but I just look at the photos, not the voice. But my dad like passed away last year. I managed to took some videos of him.
Hmm.
Yeah, so at least I can have that voice of him still in my heart.
That's great. I'm sorry for your loss. Did
Yeah,
he
it's
pass
okay.
away because of COVID?
No. It's OH. He passed away at 83.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Always family, uh, dealing with family, any topic about family is really enticing in the emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So also I want to, because I look at your YouTube channel and I find it's very interesting because you have a lot of different interests. And I wonder how you decide on what you want to do. And this idea, by the way, is awesome. I really like this one.
When I started my YouTube channel in 2020 during COVID, it was on property investment because I love property. So I talk about property investment, overseas investment. And then as I go along, because property investment, you don't invest properties all the time, like seasonal kind of thing.
Mm,
And if I keep on talking about property investment, it's kind of boring and dry. So I slowly divert myself like, okay, property invest like a passive income kind of thing. So with this passive income, I can travel, I can enjoy food, some kind of, yeah, something like this. And I like traveling and food, trying out food. So as I go along, and then I find that my audience also like me enjoying the food. I have a lot of views, and there's one video on food got me a lot of views. Like, hey, this is like okay, because as time goes by, I can see like what the audience wants. I think it's important to do video that what audience wants rather than you yourself what you like to do.
yeah,
So
that's
so
so
yeah,
true.
so it resonate with my audience. Like, okay, they like me to have traveling and food. Like, yeah, so it's like I'll go that route. So maybe as time goes by, things will change. So I do not know.
It's really interesting how you transition into that. It's feel very natural, but nothing is natural about that because you you learn by going and by doing.
Yeah.
And there's one thing that I haven't talked about, but it's the core, at the core of everything. that I've learned and try to get the message across is the concept of like the core value. What's your core value? And we should judge our own life against our core values, not how successful we are. Um, but no one tell us how to find core values. They will tell us what the core value is. Like they will have a picture of like heaven and paradise in Bali. But how to get there is the difficult part. And it sounds like you nailed it. You know how to get there. But do you have this like process of sitting down and thinking about what you value the most?
It's like maybe I'm trying to work backwards, like okay, this is the lifestyle that I'm in, like traveling. It doesn't have to be expensive. It's like something that experience that you're buying, experience traveling, food, something that you are buying, and then how to live in that kind of lifestyle. So moving backwards, like okay, through passive income, what sort of passive income, like what sort of strategy that we need to have a passive income, because nowadays I think especially after COVID things are getting very tough, especially in terms of money.
Mm,
So yeah, what sort of things that, so I'm trying, like I'm still thinking like how to strategy, build up strategy to make videos on that, on passive incomes.
mm.
Yeah, something like
That's
that.
a very I feel like that's the most highly sick advice on the internet.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe they can relate, like okay, passive income. Yeah, so this is sort of a lifestyle that I'm in, like traveling,
Mm,
food. Yeah.
cool. But you travel with your family?
No, because I travel while I work, because my work
Oh,
requires me to travel a lot. So I cover the whole Indonesia. So at the same time, yeah, explore the
right.
place, the food.
Cool. It's like you doing like working two jobs at the same time, and then you still have time to come back to your family. That's the life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So actually, for me, I think priority is very important, because when people say that they are too busy, yeah, busy over what? So it's like priority. Are you priority on that particular thing or not? If there's
Mm,
no priority, that means yeah, you don't care. Like you're busy with other things that you're more priority on.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And is I think it's because what they value the most,
Yes,
whether they
exactly.
know it or not. And it's preferable if they can find like what they value the most and they can be intentional about it. Otherwise, they would just, you know,
It's like yeah, they'll be forever busy with other things.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm really glad I joined this PTYA course because I don't have any experience in editing, you know, film, video, and the photography background, nothing.
How,
So
how
it's
do
a
you where do you get PTYA from? Where how do you know that's this PTYA?
it's just popped up in on YouTube. I came across Ali's video, and at that time because I've been thinking about YouTube for a while, so but I know like from my experience, online courses, especially from YouTubers, are not good. So I did a search for review from like other YouTubers that has take the course, and it was good. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why
yeah,
I try.
it's really
I
good. It
decided
was really good.
the part that sold to me is the like the accountability part that they commit for 12 months, and that sounds to me more realistic. because you can have a course for 1 month, but that's nothing. But it's
Yeah.
like after that's done, everybody's like, okay, back to life.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
the cost is not cheap. It's
yeah,
not cheap.
exactly.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's why the part of having the accountability group for 12 months and the audit and the support is good. So I
Yeah.
think that that's justified for the cost.
What I like most is the feedback when you do your homework and there's a lot of feedback. Wow, that's really mind blowing. Like, oh, okay, these are the things that the details. Wow.
I wish that they can have more specific because smart goals, right?
Yeah.
That specific, measurable, and blah blah blah. It is very well known for everybody. But smart goals is for starters, for beginners, or for like projects that has very clear uh, like expectation. Like you have to be done here, and that's also in education when you teach a concept and you get people to start doing it. It's really good to have a very clear set of goals, meaning the requirements and how good is good and what is the expectation. For example, if you teach creative writing, um, you, you cannot say like what good is good, but you can break down the component of a good piece of writing, and then you require that you have to hit all this, and you try to do like at least a paragraph of each style, and like at least a minimum bar of that will help bring in like the tone, the experience, the practice. it it's not really necessary for like people who has done YouTube for a long time, but for beginners that will help bring in everything into perspective more. Yeah, I really hope that they can have more specific scope of what the homework should be.
And I think the class is a bit overwhelming, like a lot of things in there. I think for starter, I think it's a bit. Oh my god.
Yeah, I wrote to I made a sketch on like it's like a napkin sketch really, but I wrote down like what would I do if I were to create a curriculum on the content, and I gave it to the team, and I said if you're gonna use it, give me 5 sessions with Angus. Maybe Angus will feel very nervous. Yeah, but for like because in education, if you go to university, you study all the difficult topics, then it's still doable. You've broken down into chunks, but then the sequence, how you lead the learners like into the topic and explore, and then add context, is is all that makes the difference. How people can learn or not. That's how you educate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really curious of you gain more clarity after this academy. Can you
Yeah.
say what it is?
Like I used to do like a lot of videos, like quantity more than quality. But Ali's class, he explained in a more structural way the steps how to make a really good quality video. Because last time I was like, yeah, I just do video like but you can see like my videos like 1 year ago and now it's like very different. And then I was like watching those YouTube videos and then there's this guy like, oh, for the first time you need to do 30 videos in 30 days. Yeah, I followed that actually. My god, it's like
Wow.
but yeah, it was like, oh crazy. It was crazy. Yeah.
But you learn editing by yourself?
Yes, yes. I
Ah,
started like a simple video editor, Windows
mm,
editor. Then I
mm,
slowly like upgrade. Like I'll start with free version of DaVinci. Now is a paid version. Is nice DaVinci. But later
mm.
on, I think I'll need to outsource for editing. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just like I need to spend more time on the designing of the thumbnail. That takes a lot of work.
yeah.
Thumbnail.
I, you said something about that, about like you learn that you need to pay attention to what people want, not what you
Yeah,
want to talk about.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's something I'm in that exactly that spot because I have so much things I want to talk about. And then what I learned from the course is that you have to package what you want to talk about. And that packaging thing is what I'm trying to learn, like get a hang of. How do I, and it's the same thing that educators struggle with. So you can have some very good, like high world class teachers that put students to sleep every time. But what he teach is just top notch in his field. It's just that people don't know want to listen to that or just find it very boring. So how do I do that? Is still a mystery to me because I get the like the visual and the making things visually attractive. I get that. I just don't have the skill to do it yet.
but but your channel is quite new, right? Like two, three
Yeah.
months. Yeah, so it's like how many videos that you have so far?
I've made 9 videos over the
Yeah,
past
maybe
few
you
months.
need to do like 40, 50 more videos
Yeah,
to
yeah.
actually test out because the more videos you have, the more data that you get. Like
Mm,
you'll see like this audience are from which country, at
mm,
what age group, whether it's male, female, more. Yeah. So from there you can gather like what sort of things that you want to actually make video on by
yeah,
having lots of data, like 50, I think 50 videos, you can have a very clear picture of like what they want. And then with 50 videos, I think you can have some questionnaire in your community section, the tab,
mm,
community tab. You can actually ask them like you can just ask them like what they actually want.
yeah,
Yeah, some you can they can they I think sometimes they give very good feedback.
yes.
Like like sometimes I ask them like what sort of thumbnails do they like. They actually respond. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. Like how you build up this, and how did you come up with this idea? It's really cool.
Like what idea? Which idea?
This one, like doing the live session.
Oh, okay. Because like this is a new feature in YouTube. Every time I open my YouTube, there's this new label. So it's like okay, I need to challenge myself. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, it's really cool, and I find it very interesting when I heard that you had a session with Dan because
Yeah.
I've been meaning to get in touch with Dan. He has like he's done coaching for creative as well,
Yes,
and he has a
creative
lot to
writing.
offer.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Maybe you and him resonate because it's more in the education sector.
I worked for hospitality for like 3 years, and during that time it was very exciting because that was in my 20s, and it's more about like marketing and like a lot of at that time it's primarily Facebook. Hospitality industry is very much lifestyle. What is cool is like all the high end food and stuff like that. And I found that it's the way they create content. they draw people in because of how they price themselves. You get what I mean? Like because they have this strong belief that they are this like very high end thing and very luxurious thing, and people should want it. And the packaging is the same way, and then people just buy into it. But not, it's very simple concept, or anything is very simple. It's just the how it looks. Even simple is still stylish and very sleek.
Mhm.
I don't know how to replicate that. But when you are in that environment, it's always like it's contagious. You have that belief that what you do is exactly that.
Anyway, when you want to do video, just do like don't overthink. Just do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
For me, I'm doing like all the things that I've think or been thinking about or just around me for a long time. So it's just the way that, as I said, I don't know how to make the hookable, clickable.
Yeah, because as the more you do, you learn. You learn.
Mm,
Yeah.
true, very
And
true.
then actually I started blogging.
Mm,
I started blogging. And
blocking.
then when I start blogging, I was in this community. Each of us, like, we need to go to each of us, our website, and
Mm,
click on it and spend time like about 3 minutes or more. But somehow or rather, I spend like less than 3 minutes in a website. So it's considered a bounce rate. When you click on the website and you click out, and you click and click and click and click, it's considered bounce rate because you don't
mm,
spend enough time in the website. So I
yeah.
was like penalized. I was like banned from the community for 30 days. I can actually see their comments, but I cannot comment myself. So it's
Um,
like it is so torturing for the 30 days. So it's like, okay, I need to do something. Like, okay, I'll try vlogging instead. And I enjoy myself actually vlogging more than blogging. Blogging is like writing and writing, but
yeah.
vlogging, I challenge myself, talk in front of the camera. The first time I talk in front of cameras, I feel so weird. I feel like I'm like an idiot talking in front of a camera, but
Yeah. Yeah. It's so surreal. It's
yeah.
something else. Because teaching is very natural, but talking in front of camera is just really unnatural for me.
Yes.
This is the Matthew Dix, the guy that wrote Story Worthy. Do you remember his
Uh-huh. Yeah.
session?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
look.
Yeah.
There's one thing that he mentioned was the homework for life. That's how you find stories in your life. And he also has another one, which is 100 years life. Like live every day as if you are your 100 years old self. And I love that. I really love that. And I did his homework for life, and it's really good. I find that it's more helpful than doing the thing that they all tell us to do, which is the gratitude journal. This is why.
Mhm.
Because you don't really believe in what you say you feel grateful for. It is really hard for me to do that. But with the homework for life, essentially he said that every day, just 5 minutes at the end of the day, you sit down, you just type down in a Excel spreadsheet or anything you fancy. 5 minutes, you time yourself and you write down what is the most worthy story worthy moment in the day. And for me, I think his definition is really good. His definition of a story is a transformation, like one point that you can transform. I don't know the time, so you can just check the time because I cannot see. I don't have a clock here.
Okay, it's almost like one. We are already 1 hour 11 minutes.
Really?
So maybe we wrap up things like, okay,
Okay,
what
sure,
what
sure.
is a take home message for the audience that you would
Right.
like to say?
Take
Yeah,
home message.
yeah.
That is the one transformation point a day. And if you want to change anything, if you want to build up something new, and I think that's a really good way to do it, to seek transformational moments in your day and do it every day, because you have to know why you want to do it, and then you know exactly how the thing you do made you change every day in order to stay in it for as long as it takes for it to work. Otherwise, you set yourself up for a challenge of 30 days, but after 30 days, it's really, you don't know what you went through.
Knowing the
That's
purpose.
yeah, and I feel like that transformation process always have to comes from the place of true values, what you value the most, and you have to find that. Don't listen to anybody to tell you that success is this and lifestyle is this, and you have to live a lifestyle that you want. This is what lifestyle you want, because maybe you don't want that, and you don't realize it until you work all your way to that place. And I find that your place right now is really good. You enjoy your life, and that's really cool.
Thank you so much for your time and effort. So, guys, if you want to check her YouTube channel, the link is in the the
Think that
description box. Yeah, it's in under there. It's in there. Yeah, below there, the description box. So I see you. Thank you so
yeah.
much.
Thank you,
Okay.
Daniel.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.